all the candidates of the APC. And that is not where my interest is. I want to draw a lesson and possibly give some advisement to Rivers people. So we are aware that in the past or in the outgoing administration, the Rivers elders and our traditional rulers were barred from visiting the center. Shegu, in my profession, there is something we say. We say that resource allocation play field is not even. I will break it down. That you produce oil does not mean that when they are sharing oil money, they will remember you and give to you if you don't agitate or if you are not present there. Rivers State lost tremendously in things that should have come from the center because of that singular act. You can see that the Rivers State government was not in tune with the center. So we lost. They don't need to be of the same party, but we lost as a state very well. Now, supposing, God forbid, the APC wins at the center and we don't, another party wins here, probably we'll be able to forge some level of cooperation. But supposing another party wins at the center and the APC loses here, which is very likely, there will be struggles. So what I want to advise is let us not go and make one mistake over and over again, dump the APC, and come to a candidate, particularly at the state, a candidate that does not have any baggage, a candidate that shares love, that has love across all political parties and all individuals. And that is the Dr. Dawari Bitila Judge. Well, thank you, and God bless you.
Oh, cheers, a very clever one by you there. But again, thank you so much. Let me come to the social media here. And I have good morning from Opavi Orubami. Say good morning, Mr. Shego, and to the guest in the studio. I believe the guest in the studio is a Christian. My question is, how does he feel about Muslim tickets of the APC? Okay, I think we've gone past that, but again, let's just say Jonathan Adego Onwidu. Good morning, Shego and Chief Tony Okocha. I agree with Chief Tony Okocha in the studio. APC Rivers State is still troubled with the defeat of the leader and might never be part of the campaign of Tinubu. But I believe your guest and other lovers of Tinubu will work for his victory. Adetola Aborishade, take home, no PCC meeting so far. That's right. Oh my God! And Adetola, I see you covering your face that this is shameful.
That's what it is.
Again, another one here. Nimi Diepria Ogatoni, if others cannot do what you are asking for, why can't you take the mandate yourself? And I have gone through the list of APC, PCC, and your name is not there. Why? Why champion a cause you are not involved in? And that is a very big question there. Again, let me just take another one here. Ugo Best Chris, Nimi Priya, good question. Thank you so much for that. And many other questions coming in here. But again, let us start with what Good News said. Just before then, I need to quickly take this one because Barrister Sugbay Eli is calling us. And Barrister Sugbay Eli is the spokesperson for the Toyco campaign organization. Barrister Sugbay Eli, good morning and thank you for joining us.
So good morning, good morning, your guest, Tony Okocha.
Thank you so much, Barrister Sugbay Eli.
Yeah, it's unfortunate I need to make this call now, and I need to be very, very brief as much as possible. First, to clear certain preconceived notions. Tony Okocha is out there to do a hatchet job. I will not allow that to happen in Rivers State. He's not a member of the PCC, as somebody rightly pointed out. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has an independent campaign council. Probably that's where he belongs. So he cannot know when the PCC meets and when they don't meet. Point number one. Point number two, it is sheer illiteracy. If you want to call it ignorance, fine. But somebody says that some people are praying for Bola Tinubu to die. So that ought to happen. What does the legal act say about substantial candidates 90 days for election? Are we still counting 90 days? And who will pray for anybody to die, for God's sake? Who will pray? Who will not die? That you pray for others to die first. Politics must not be brought to a level where we just share hates as a culture. Tony Okocha and Amechi were best of friends at some point. You know, like Mr. Wike, these guys have benefited so much from a man. So whatever differences you have now, please take it home. You don't need to pollute the Rivers environment with your shenanigans. Your personal differences notwithstanding will have values in this state. And if an average Rivers man will not pray for his brother to die, or somebody else to die so he will profit. It doesn't make sense. Moreover, in law, it is not tenable, however, The electoral laws is clear about how you can substitute a candidate. The candidate has to resign by himself, or the candidate dies. The party even doesn't have power to substitute a candidate. So how would anybody sit down, wake up from his house this morning, come on radio, and tell the world that some people in Rivers APC are praying for Bola Tinubu to die? Is it a calling favor for Tinubu? Or does it have evidence of who is praying? If you take the tax to mention who and who he knows and why the prayers are holding. You know, for you to prove conspiracy in law, you must be present, you must know why those meetings are holding, I must be there. So please, he has something to campaign for Tinubu in this state. Let him go ahead.
Yeah.
He's not part of our PCC. When we're going to hit the ground, he should also ask himself, has he seen Toyeko go out on the streets, rolling normal political rallies? As such is different. Just like his own leader, Abe, is doing. He doesn't know what he's doing for Tinubu.
If I may come in at this junction, and we thank you so much for putting your call through to also express with us your views. But again, I don't want us to take things out of context. We need to put things in the right perspective here. But again, the question you've raised is a very key one, which I'm going to put to Chief Tony Okocha, because in the introductory aspect of this program, Chief Tony Okocha had said he's a member of the PCC, that is Presidential Campaign Council of Ahmed Tinubu. But again, Barrister Sumaila is saying that you need to tell Rivers people if indeed you are a member of the PCC, because he said you cannot claim to have knowledge of the meetings of the committee when you are not a member. So again, the question is, are you a member of the Presidential Campaign Council of Ahmed Bola Tinubu?
Well, I feel for my friend, Sewe Eli. He knows that I'm a member. He knows very well.
Actually, we're going to fact check that, and we will see the list. We're trying to get across to the list of the presidential campaign and see if Chief Tony Okocha is also a member. So when we get the list in the course of this program, we will fact check that.
Look up the subcommittee for support groups.
Okay.
My chairman is Her Excellency Maureen Tamuna. She's the chairman of the committee of support groups of the South in Rivers. So in Rivers, she is.
And you are a member of that committee
of course, yes.
of the Presidential Campaign Council.
Very well, please look it up.
So we will fact check that. We'll get back to that on that. But again, Barrister Sugbe, I'm going to allow you just one more minute before I allow you go. So he has said to you that he is a member of the Presidential Campaign Council.
He said he's a member of the South support groups. As I said, I heard it very well.
The PCC.
And that subcommittee is shared by Excellency Maureen Tamuna, who is Nigerian ambassador to Jamaica and one other territory. But that's not the issue here. Shegun,
no,
the issue is this.
Let us get that clarified now, because it will amount to fake news if Chief Tony Okocha is here in the studio claiming he's a member of the PCC, and he is not. But Chief Tony Okocha has gone ahead to affirm that he is a member of the PCC, and he has also gone ahead to...
Shegun, can you read from the publication from the PCC?
Again, it's a very huge, it's a very long name. I think the name is close to 600. But again, we're trying to get that. We're fact-checking that.
Until you verify that, let's clear something here.
All right,
Ambassador Tamuna is not in this country to say, okay, she shares his committee, subcommittee, so the health meetings I think was invited. Architect Toye MNI, member of the National Institute, Government Secretary of the APC, is the coordinator of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu PCC River State, period. Now, there's no evidence that I called the meeting and Tony wasn't invited. Ask Tony Okocha, he pretends to be a member of the APC. Has he been to the party secretariat one day? So the meetings will hold in this house. If they're going to have a meeting, is that what they want? Ask him. 118 Woji Road in Jaro is the party secretariat. Ask him, has he been there one day? I've not seen him there for no reason. Now, for whatever role he's playing, it's at liberty. It's a constitutional right that feel associate, assemble with anybody. But please, do not come on radio to cast aspersions. And if I had my brothers very well, you have had your day in the sun. You have had your things too. But we had this bad politics happened. Even though we won in 2015 and lost the state here, we had so much losses as Rivers people. We should look at the repair those damages.
And we want to thank you so much.
More problems for ourselves.
We want to thank you so much, Barrister
Subelai.
Thank you so much, Barrister Subelai. But again, we will get the list and we're working on fact checking that. But again, Chief Tony Okocha, I know you're also trying to bring out a copy of your list. Okay, and so
that's my appointment letter.
All right, so we have an appointment letter here, which we're going to put up on the social media, and the appointment to serve as member of the support group coordination and South for the Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council. And we have the appointment letter here shown to us in the studio. But again, we will also look at the list published by the APC concerning the Presidential Campaign Council. We will fact check that and bring it up quickly. But again, Chief Tony Okocha, one thing I also want to raise to you is the issue concerning whether or not the candidates, the governorship candidates of the APC in River State, who is also a member of the Presidential Campaign Council, has been campaigning for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. I saw him in Bayelsa. I saw Architect Tony Cole on the podium in Bayelsa, and he was visibly in support of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Again, so when you say nothing seems to be happening again, that's a quick.
Bayelsa is not River State, please. Bayelsa is not River State. I was in Kano. Should I start naming the states where I featured? How does that translate to supporting the candidate in the states? Bayelsa is not River State. I was in Bayelsa, I was in Edo State, I was in Kano, I was in Jos. So what are we talking about here? I was in Ebonyi State. What are we talking about? That the candidates received, or was one of those that received, the governorship candidate of APC in River State was one of those that received the presidential candidate in Bayelsa State. What does that mean? Are we talking about eye service? What are we doing here on ground? You know, people, because they do not know. Even the Bible says that people perish because of lack of knowledge. Some are saying, look at somebody as well, he says he's the spokesperson of campaign, whatever, in River State. He does not know that I am a member of a PCC. Beyond being a member of a PCC, there is another committee that is aware that it is in existence, and that I'm not only a member, that I'm the chairman of that committee, the Protocol and Logistics Committee of the Independent Campaign Council. Our business is to go to the grassroots. Our business is to hold town hall meetings for the candidates. Of course, you're aware that yesterday, day before yesterday, I think though, the presidential candidate was with the youth in Abuja.
Okay.
All right? So they don't know as much, because the reason why they don't know is that they are still in the slumber. I told you that they are still thinking that Tinubu is still not the candidate of the party.
Again, actually, we know that list was published on the 19th of October, and we've seen the list, but we're trying to scroll to the page that has your name. It's about a 36-page document. The document is about 36 pages, so we're going through it state by state to see.
I think I volunteered my copy of the.
We've seen your letter.
Yes,
we've seen your letter of appointment.
I volunteered a copy of my appointment letter.
Well, again, let us.
I'll also give you a copy of my appointment letter as chairman of this other one. Take this.
Okay, well, we'll also put that up on the social media. But again, the curious thing for us is that less than 50 days to the presidential election, nothing seems to be done concerning campaigning of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu here in River State. And we are asking the question that can Asiwaju Bola Tinubu win 25% mandatory vote here in River State? I'll just go back to the social media to see comments that are coming in on the social media, as well as take a couple of calls. Maybe we'll take the calls first. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank.
Hello, Joe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Comrade James Sidonko. I want to say that where the honorable is taking us, we are far beyond that. We have gone far beyond where he's taking us. These are people that are still fully carrying in APC. Let me tell you, all what they are saying is total fallacy, because our leader has been talking last 3 weeks ago. He was in church with that Asiwaju Tinubu, and today, in Okeka, we have taken a committee, transport committee, that will lead people to Port Harcourt, where our leader is coming, Tinubu is coming to Port Harcourt. Yesterday in Port Harcourt, if you are not a member of APC, you don't know what is happening in APC. They have been meeting. 2 days ago, we had a meeting. Driving on the justice had to meet up with the demands of our presidential candidate that is coming to Port Harcourt in January. We have shifted it twice.
Okay.
By December, people traveling.
The presidential candidate, see, they don't know. The presidential candidate is not coming here in December. He's not coming here in January.
All right. Okay. Well, just hold on. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Well, again, let us put the facts correct, because the caller just said the presidential candidate is coming to River State in January. Chief Tony Okocha, tell us, what do you know about the coming of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to River State? Do we have a date, and is it planning to come?
Tinubu will be here. The presidential candidate of the APC will be in River State on the 15th of February, please. 15th of February 2023. Nowhere in January at all. You know, they lack interest, so they don't know. And because you don't know, they should just shut up. With all due respect.
So again, when you say the presidential candidate will be in Port Harcourt,
Yes.
15th of February, this is just about a month or thereabout to him coming. Again, no billboards.
Exactly. Those are the issues.
You are also a member. What have you done in that aspect?
Those are the issues we are talking about now. Now, there is a structure, supposedly. And I told you here that there is a rule that was made, and Rivers State will not be an exception. That rule is that the presidential, where you have a governor, a serving governor under the auspices of the APC, he is the coordinator of the campaign organization in that state. Where you don't have, and you have a governorship candidate, the governorship candidate is the coordinator of the pieces of the presidential, the campaign council in the state. And that Rivers State was not going to be an exception. Tony Okocha is not a governorship candidate of the APC in Rivers State. And so I will not be usurping the position of the governorship candidate of Rivers State, who ordinarily ought to be the coordinator of the campaign council or the campaign in Rivers State. The point we're making is that we are doing practically nothing. And my brothers are saying that I'm not a member of the PCC. I've obliged you 2 copies of my appointment letters, as if I knew. Now, the truth of the matter is that because we are not interested, they are not interested in what they are doing. Now, let them tell me any of the candidates of the APC who has by his side the picture of Tinubu in his poster or in the billboard.
That does not mean that the APC campaign council, presidential campaign council, is not campaigning.
We are not campaigning. There's no meeting. How do we campaign? As a member of a PCC and there's an APC, how else will a member of a committee be part of what they are doing? Is it not? How do we disseminate information? There is no information to any meeting whatsoever. I have personally, you can put a call through my chairman, Her Excellency Maureen Tamuna. I'm sure, I don't know whether she's still in Nigeria. I personally went to her and said, please beg our coordinator to convene a meeting of the PCC. And in my presence, she did.
Are you saying Maureen Tamuna, Her Excellency Maureen Tamuna, as well as not attended any meeting of the PCC?
I am not aware. Well, she will speak for herself. But I know that as a subcommittee, we have met.
As a subcommittee,
we have met. But there was a need for some kind of a synergy of all the subcommittees that exist in the state. And that is under the coordinatorship of the candidate of the party. And there is no such meeting. Who have met in this state? The support group committee who have met in this state.
Fantastic. Let me just come back to the messages we are having on social media, and many of them are coming in. Oloye Usman Mekidi, Tony Okocha is an SDP man and an SDP member at night, an APC member at day. I haven't seen his name in the APC PCC anywhere. He should stop parading himself as such. Alexander Agbedo, good morning. Shegun Wolabe and Chief Tony Okocha. For truth, the development in Rivers APC is very disturbing. How many party leadership decide to escalate themselves, to extricate themselves from the campaign of the presidential candidate rather than lead from the front in mobilizing for him for some reasons known to them? On the issue of 25%, I believe Bola Ahmed Tinubu will score above 25% in Rivers State, and whether Rivers APC likes it or not, APC will win the presidential election. And that is from you, Alexander Agendo and Okpara Namdi. All these APC people, oh my God, I don't want to talk about that, Okpara Namdi, but again, I'm lucky, Ugo Chiku, this guy called Tony Okocha as a clown, he has no shame. Well, again, that's very derogatory and not too good. Please, let's put the language very, very straight. Make your comment in a civilized manner. And Nuhu took, good morning, Mr. Shegun and guest. Do you think the Gulf of War created since from previous interview with your guest about perceived opposition within the party in the state, are these not enough to make perceived enemies stay away? Well, again, that's another thing we will be talking about here. But again, he has just told us that he has that the coordinator, Presidential Campaign Committee Council of Asiwaju Tinubu in Rivers State is Architect Tony Ko. Yeah. And from what Chief Tony Okocha has said to us, to the best of his knowledge, the coordinator has not called a meeting. And he has also told us that he spoke to Her Excellency Maureen Tamuna about this issue. Yeah. But again, Her Excellency may want to speak if the coordinator has called a meeting. But again, let us just leave it as that. Let me come back to taking more calls now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank.
Hello, good morning, Shegun.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Tambari Sunday.
Good.
President, the time I'm Tom for River Southeast. Yeah, I'm calling from Bori.
Fantastic. Go ahead with your comments, sir.
Yeah, good morning, my chief.
Good morning.
Yes, as regard to Bola Tinubu having 25% in River State, I want to believe that with the look of things, with the political situation in River State, I see that this vote will come from both the APC and the SDP of River State. And so I want to say that it will not be only 25%. 25% is low from what I am seeing. Looking at what Obasanjo said as regard to endorsing somebody, I see that Obasanjo is not always happy with Bola Tinubu because of the previous misunderstanding they got. When Bola Tinubu was created a local government in Lagos State, and Obasanjo said he's not going to fund it. You know, Tinubu has been a very creative person and someone that has capacity and the popularity to do a thing. And is very creative in a manner that he has created a lot of impact in human capacity development. And so I see that, yes, this man will actually take the vote in Nigeria. So whoever that is laughing at Tinubu as a result of age or whatever, age is not used to determine the quality of leadership of a person. It's just that you have what it takes to lead the people. Both the youth and the elderly will benefit from Tinubu because he has that legacy. He has proven his state of ability before now.
Thank you so much, Comrade
Tinubu has a lot of votes from River State. I promise you that is so. It's going to be.
You're optimistic that he will get a 25% again. But again, Chief Tony Okota has just told us that the planned visit or the proposed date for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to come to River State is February 15th.
Very well.
And that's less than about a month to this time. So again, we're saying what's on ground for that visit. I mean, we saw what happened in Kano, and Kano was massive from what we saw on TV and on the social media. Again, are we going to see that replicated here in River State? That's a very big question. But let me just take this call. Good morning. We lost that. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Point Blank Saturday. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Shegun, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Henry.
Henry,
calling from Port Harcourt. Yes. First and foremost, let me commend Chief Tony Okota in the studio there, who've been doing everything within his powers to see to it that there's a semblance of activity, within the APC in River State as regards the presidential campaign. He's been doing a lot and deserves the commendation of all. Having said that, it is sad and very unfortunate that those who are supposed to rise up and then see to it that their presidential candidate wins election in River State, or at least win the statutory required number of votes in the state, are not doing anything. We know that the APC have suffered some bit of litigations that that have held them back, but all that have been cleared, and by now they should hit the ground running, and then begin to sensitize the people. But they don't seem to be interested, particularly in the presidential candidate of the party. They don't. Okay. The party hierarchy and leadership in the state does not seem to be interested in the presidential candidate of the party, and it's very, very sad. If they think that they can do their own and get away with it without a presidential candidate, I think they'll be doing themselves a great disservice, and that can affect their own performance in River State. So my advice to them is that they should brace up, put everybody together, campaign for Tinubu, campaign for themselves, and then move their party forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And again, we have a comment coming in on Facebook. John Peters, good morning, Pastor Shegun. Shortly after the appointment of Tony Okota into the PCC of Tinubu River State, you said Chief Emeka Bike, the state APC chairman, addressed the press and condemned the formation of such PCC. Tony Okocha should tell us the truth. Who is campaigning for Tinubu in River State between APC and SDP? Please tell the truth. Again, I don't understand. How could SDP be campaigning for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu? Maybe you will clear that. But again, we have another Felix James. Mr. Okocha and Magnus brought the division into APC University today. Your man Magnus has defected to SDP, but you stayed back for what you get from Tinubu. You're not telling people the truth. And that, again, is coming from Felix John. And so many of them coming up. But again, quickly, let me apologize to the spokesperson of the APC University, Darlington Wanji, who was trying to call us. We missed your call, and we would love for you to call us back. But again, Chief Tony Okocha, we need to begin to round this up, because in the next 10 minutes, we should be getting another guest into the studio. But again, maybe you want to say your final words concerning this issue before we move to another arena. And the area is that, well, you and some others who are no longer in the party are the one causing this problem. And again, for them, they are challenging you that, as far as they're concerned, the Presidential Campaign Council Coordinator in River State, Architect Tomeko, is mobilizing for support of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that perhaps because you seem, well, not to be in good tune, that's why you're not informed about what is going on.
The way, I don't know how people talk about, we're talking politics here. Do we mobilize in our bedrooms? Please, I want to see, I have said clearly here, they should just show me one poster. They should show me one billboard where you have the governorship candidate of the party sharing a poster with the presidential candidate, or any candidate of the APC for that matter in Rivers State. I want to see that. I want to see the jingles that we have sponsored as APC in support of the presidential candidate of the party in Rivers State. I want to see just one jingle. And we're talking about less than 50 days to the election. And I'm saying to you that as I sit here, I want to be challenged. I stand to be challenged by anybody in the state that will tell me that the PCC members of Rivers State have met anywhere, any day.
Okay, we have...
Even let's even say that that means that I was not invited. Let anybody come and tell me here or anywhere else that there was a meeting.
Okay,
but I have told you that, you know, before, some time ago.
I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, I have to cut you, but we have Darlington Wanjuju calling us now. Let us just have him. And Mr. Darlington Wanjuju, thank you so much for joining us. He's the spokesperson for the APC River State. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, Pastor Shebu.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning, Rivers people. Now, I just have listened, although I joined the program a bit late, but I've listened to some of the comments by Chief Tony Okocha. I want to say that no APC member in Rivers State regards Tony Okocha as a member of our party. Now, let me say it clearly for everybody who is in doubt to know that we do not believe that Tony Okocha is a member of the APC. And so him coming to talk about a candidate of the APC to us is an insult.
But again, Darlington Wanjuju, if I may ask you, Darlington Wanjuju, if I may ask you,
the fact that he is into whatever he is doing for what he is going to gain from Tinubu.
Let us agree with you.
Those are the past the two.
Darlington Wanjuju, if I may come in, just one question.
Hold on, let me finish, please.
Okay, please do.
Now, let me also say it here that the likes of Tony Okocha had the same persons who ensured that the APC was not on the ballot in 2019. And they also went ahead to sponsor another court case in the case of George Olo and 4 others against Rivers APC. Assuming without considering that the courts had not cleared APC or given us the leeway to campaign, how would Tony be sitting down there to say that APC is not campaigning for Tinubu?
Okay, now, if I may come in,
show proof.
If I may come in here,
why don't you show proof?
Darlington Wanjuju, Tony Okocha is challenging. Tony Okocha is challenging that.
Yes.
Show one proof that the Presidential Campaign Committee of the APC River State met at any time. He's challenging that. Show one proof that the campaign council of the APC met at any time. Well, we seem to have lost Darlington Wanjuju, but I believe that he will call us back.
He's deliberate. He just decided to yank off the phone. He's deliberate.
Well, I don't want to believe. I don't want to believe he did that.
But
again,
deliberate.
Let us not assume that's an assumption. That. But again, Darlington Wanjuju will get us back because Tony Okocha is saying that, okay, let us leave the fact that You are saying he's not a member, though he said he's a member, and he has shown us letters of appointment, but he is saying that show a proof that the Presidential Campaign Committee of the APC River State has met one day. And Darlington is back with us. So again, Darlington, if you heard the question, is Tony Kosa is challenged that produce a proof
Yes, please.
that the Presidential Campaign Committee of the Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has ever met in River State.
Yes.
Now, I think I am not a member of the PCC in River State. That we are all aware that the PCC in River State is under the coordinatorship of our governorship candidate, Pastor Akite Toyenko.
But you are the spokesperson of the party in River
It
State.
is not for me. No, Pastor Shegu, the activities of the PCC is a bit independent from the activities of the party. Now, it is when the PCC needs the support or assistance of the party that the PCC communicates with the party.
Really?
And the party, under the chairmanship of High Chief Rebecca Bege, is ever ready to work with any group that is working in the interest of the APC in River State. I think that it amounts to blackmail for anybody to sit down there and say that the APC is not ready to work for any of his candidates.
Okay, let's stay on the premise. Let's stay on the premise.
A member of the APC.
Let's stay on the premise you've given to us.
Any meeting of the APC in Ward 13.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm not a
Now again, spokesperson of the APC. Thank you so much.
I'm a
Darlington
member
Waju.
of APC in Ward 12, not Ward 13. Sorry.
again,
You see, you don't know anything.
Let us just
Too bad.
let us just stay
You are
within
speaking out
the-
of ignorance.
No, again,
I recruited you into the party.
I want you to be civil, Chief Tony Okocha.
Yes,
I want
am.
you to be civil.
How would I join issues with
Because- but
Darlington?
again,
I
let us
recruited
look
him
at-
into the party.
Let us look at what
It was
he
with
said.
my younger students at the University of Port Harcourt.
Let us look
So
at what
how
that
do
is
I join issues with
inconsequential.
him?
That's inconsequential for this discussion.
Yeah.
But let us look at what he has just said.
Yes, what
He has
did he
just
say?
said that the Presidential Campaign Council works independently.
But you and I know that it's blatant lies. How do you sever the party from its candidates? How do you do that? The party and its candidates are exorably, they are together. They are twin brothers or twin sisters, whatever you call it. You can't sever. He said he claims to be the spokesperson of APC, and he's not aware that the PCC ever met. And he's saying that the party is independent. What does that suggest to you? Defeatist. We have never met, and I'm saying so. They have made claims that I'm not a member. I have shown proof. Please, can you? I don't know if
Again,
you have
we're
been
putting that
able
up.
to show that.
It's on our social media
Please,
now.
can
You
you
can
put
also
that up?
can see a copy of that letter.
Please put that up.
If you go to our social media, you can see
Very well.
on Super FM,
Yeah.
a media page. If you're on the
And
application,
the
you can see
spokesperson is
right
saying
there.
that I'm a member of APC in Ward 13 of Obia local government. Sorry, I'm a member of APC in Ward 12. Sorry. Okay, so Shegu, you see the point I'm making? The point I'm making. When I came here some time ago, I told you that APC will score more votes. Tinubu will score more votes in Rivers State than the APC. It was the reason that was the reason why I made this thing. And now all of these things are now supporting that thing that sounded philosophical then.
You know, Chief Tony
That's
Okocha,
the reason why.
Actually, we are out of
Let me-
time.
let
but
me-
I'm going to
yes,
give you
I-
2
yes.
minutes to round this up. Yes.
Yes, no, that's the reason why I don't know what the leadership of the party is doing with the G5 governors. I don't know what they're doing. But if it's my call, I will plead that they should round off with the G5 governors, and I will plead that
Would you support the G5 governors given their endorsement to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu?
100%, please.
So you're saying that you'll be happy?
I'll be
over the weekend.
extremely happy.
Don't you think that may destabilize your party?
It will not.
If
It will
Governor
not.
Wike
Even
decide to
even the
endorse-
vice presidential candidate of the party would have said that it's going to be the game changer. If you're a member of a political party, or if you're a politician at all, you should bother with the majority. The more, the merrier. It's not about
Chief Tony Okocha, you are a politician.
Yes.
You're saying that if tomorrow the G5, led by Governor Ezenwa makes an endorsement and makes pronouncement of giving their vote for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, it will not destabilize the scheme of things in your party in River State?
No, I don't know about destabilizing whatever. Our interest is not about party. It's the interest of Tinubu about party. It's the interest about winning the election. Tinubu has to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the auspices of the All Progressive Congress. And anybody that will add vent to that mission or the realization of that mission is very much welcome. We don't desegregate. We don't say people should not enter the party. If the G5 governors endorse Tinubu today, I'm telling you that it's going to be a boost for us in APC. We already have 22 states. And if the G5 governors endorse, it means that 22 plus 7 is 22 plus 5 is 27. So are we not cruising to victory? And for a state like Rivers, that we know the prowess of the governor of the state, look, I think it's a matter that it's a matter maybe we'll discuss another day.
Chief Tony Okocha, we must just leave it at this point because we have the second guest today, and unfortunately, Darlington Wanjo is trying to get us get back to the studio, but we cannot continue with this topic. But again, this is something.
Darlington is just a greenhorn. He's a neophyte, and he knows it.
I think you need to leave him alone.
Yeah, he's a neophyte.
Some other day we'll be talking more about this. Perhaps before the visit of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to River State, we'll also have you in the studio, and we will also invite the PCC coordinator River State, which is architect Toyiko MNI, to also talk to us on plans to have Asiwaju Bola Tinubu in River State, according to you, February 15th.
Yeah, February 15th.
All right.
Now, you know, as we speak, the president had listed 10 states that he will be visiting to campaign for the
and that's President Muhammad Buhari.
River State is not part of it. And let me seize this opportunity. I hope you won't charge me money that I'm advertising. I'm to beg the president to include River State. We should not be treated like orphans. Please, we are very sorry that we are not in the scheme of things. We are not playing along with the system. We are very sorry. He should include the state, the River State, on the 15th. Now he came on the 14th. After 14 in Imo State, River State is skipped to Lagos, where they have the grand finale. Please, they should include River State.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chief Tony Okocha, for coming. And we'll be talking more on this, and we'll be speaking to other party members concerning the planned visit of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, according to you, on the 15th of February.
15th of February, yes.
Well, thank you so much. And we're very, very happy.
And it's going to be a tsunami, courtesy of my group, my faction of the APC.
We wait to see.
State, yes.
You just talked about faction again. I'm not aware there's a faction
yeah,
in the
there
APC.
Is, there
I'm not
is.
aware.
You can see.
I'm not aware.
See.
All right.
They are not aware that I'm a member of the party. I'm also not aware that they are members of APC. But I recruited them into the party.
Chief Tony Okocha, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Stay with us. Point Blank will be back after this break.
All day and all night, we do you just right.